so you're not actually disabled. 1 year ago today, I was actively relying on a wheelchair, and recently I traveled to Thailand and then Korea, which I vlogged going shopping there, and that is where this comment is from. Honestly, I can't believe I even have to like feel like I have to respond to this comment or make this video. It's comments like these that make people really not want to share their struggles online. Yes, I can travel now and I'm so grateful for that, but it's not like I can travel like a normal person. It's really hurtful and discouraging to get comments like this because I haven't even been home to America in like the past 6 years because I can't physically make the flight. My father actually almost passed away about a year and a half ago. Like, I'm talking in the hospital, brain surgery, stroke, sepsis. It was really bad. If things had taken a turn for the worse, I literally wouldn't even have been able to take a flight to go to his funeral. I still wouldn't be able to do that to this day if something happened to my family back there. But let's take my most recent trip to Korea and like talk about what people don't see. First of all, I almost always have to have a hotel within a very close distance of whatever activity I want to do for the day, which I only really get 1, maybe 2 things I can do in one day, and even just eating dinner would count as one of those things. Other than that, I just have to rest the rest of the time. If I even push a couple minutes over my limit, I really risk not being able to do something the next day. It's sad when you're in a place that has so many things to do and you just have to sit in your hotel room and think, well, if I wasn't ill, then I wouldn't have to miss out on all these opportunities. No large museums if they don't have wheelchairs that you can rent. Having to budget for taxis even if something's only like a 15-minute walk away because you cannot spare that extra energy. Only getting to meet like 1 friend in an entire trip because that's all you have the time and energy for. And as an influencer, having to request seats when you meet brands, which is like actually super embarrassing even though it shouldn't be. You just have to think, what if they don't want to work with me anymore now that they know that I deal with health issues? The world is unfortunately not very kind to us. I don't know. Usually I delete comments like this because they're not very productive, but this time I didn't want to. I'm really proud of my life and everything that I'm able to do. Literally got to help work on a black Roman lip tint. Like, that is so cool. It is really sad to see people who follow me who wish me to actively suffer and show it online. Please don't follow disabled people if you really want them just to like only feel bad and not do better. We all have a really good day, and I'm sorry for rambling a little bit. I just felt like I kind of had to say something, and so I did. Do you guys remember the super vampy Korean lipstick that I showed? Yeah, well, I got to meet the CEO in Korea because she saw my video. Honestly, one of the coolest things that has ever happened to me. She literally blessed me with like all of these products that she thought I would like. So many of them are goth girl friendly, so let's try them together. Starting first with their white foundation, she was like, I'm pretty sure that you were going to like this. And I was like, how do you know? Let's see. Ooh, it's giving very Twilight. Even though Almond is one of my favorite brands, I didn't know that they started out and are still marketed towards working makeup artists, which is why they kind of have more like unique shades like this foundation or these lipsticks or the other things I want to show you. By the way, this foundation is a winter exclusive, so it will be treasured. They also have a white concealer. I purchased this one myself before I knew that I was going to meet them. I just wanted to try it. It is super creamy, and also I love how the color matches the packaging. I'm just gonna place a little bit around my nose. This is definitely not how girls in Korea will be wearing these products. I'm even shocked in general that like a lot of brands when I was there even wanted to talk to me because I know I have like more of an alternative vibe. But I don't know, I feel like the KBA industry is getting a little bit more experimental, and I love to see that. Next up, I have an eyeshadow I have been fiending for forever. I always see this color on Japanese Twitter. This is 243 Macaron Gray. Is this not like the most perfect everyday gray shade? I just knew it was going to be so beautiful. They also said even though their makeup is like for makeup artists, they wanted to make it really easy and approachable for like everyday people, which I can definitely see. I'm so in love with this color. It is definitely going to be an everyday shadow. I was actually asking her about the more like ghoulish shades that they carry because they actually have a lot. Because I was like, surely there must be like a niche market in Korea for people like me. And she was like, oh no, those colors do not sell well. It's only like pink and orange that people want to buy. Next, I'm gonna try their Balm Blush in Misty Pink. This is so cute. I love how sheer it is. It's like really perfect for doing like Japanese style makeup. And even though I just said that the look I'm going for today is kind of like K-beauty vampire. Speaking of vampire, one of the shades I showed is actually called Vampire, and it's actually their staple. It comes in 3 different formulas. Glossy one that I showed, a matte version, and then a tint version called the Vamp Tint. It said even though the other versions of Vampire were not that popular, this one is like one of their best-selling products. So let's try it. 1 layer. When you touch it, it looks like dried blood. All right, this is so pretty. I can totally see why it's popular. Also, the formula is so interesting and very comfortable. Definitely gonna be living in my purse. Also, they are committed to the goth girls because they actually had a shade darker than these two. I'll put the video they sent me up on the screen. They discontinued it because it wasn't popular in Korea, but I was like, please bring it back for the global people. Okay, sorry for rambling. This is the finished look. I'm just so excited for the opportunity as like kind of weirdo goth alternative like Asian beauty girly. I just couldn't be happier. Okay, bye. I have very exciting news, especially for my global girlies who were not able to get their hands on the Black Ramon lip products. As a thank you from me and Ramon, we are doing a giveaway, a global giveaway. I'll basically keep it short. If you want to enter the giveaway, just make sure to be following me and Ramon's official page on TikTok, and then also maybe leave like a black or gray emoji in my comment section just to let me know that you entered. There'll be 3 winners, and if you do win, you will get the black lip kit. I don't have one anymore because I opened mine. The winners will be chosen at random. Make sure to check all the details in the description below, and good luck to you guys, and thank you. Do you ever just see a palette and you're like, yeah, that's gonna need to stay in the family for generations? I'm talking like ingrained in the bloodline. Yeah, that's how I feel about this Shenyun palette. So I got a backup. I'm not usually a proponent for backups, but in this case, I just don't feel like another palette can compare to this one. Here's what she looks like fresh, like so beautiful, so stunning, like the colors, the textures, everything in here. I'm not gonna touch this one, but I just wanted to take a second to appreciate her beauty on camera again. Like these mattes and these shimmers are to die for. This is why CBD stays on top, because this pigment you cannot find any other place, especially for this price. Like, I don't know, this palette is just perfect. I love Shenyun. I love this palette. I love these colors. It literally just fills me with joy to even look at them. That's how much I love this palette. If they ever say that they're gonna discontinue this, I honestly think one more has to join. It's literally just like me in a palette. Ugh. Okay, so people always ask me how my makeup's changed after moving to Japan, because obviously I'm a little bit spooky inclined. And honestly, the biggest thing would be wanting to have like fresh, dewy, boiled egg skin that's so popular, especially in East Asia. Like literally I want my skin to look like this no matter what other kind of makeup I'm wearing. There's a lot of blush products on the market to help you get this kind of finish, but honestly my favorite ones are these House of Her blushes. I found these first on like Japanese beauty Twitter because they just give you a really beautiful like translucent, almost melted popsicle look, which is the goal. They just expanded their range, and I have the new shades here, so I thought we could try them. They're supposed to be a lot more pigmented, so I'm very excited to try these. This is the one I'm most excited for. This is 08 Berry Purple. But here's all the swatches. This red one looks so good for Igari makeup. I actually have the original makeup artist's book. And if you didn't know, Igari makeup is all about a red blush. If you come to Japan, definitely check this book out. I learned so much from it. But anyways, let's do a combo with these because I have been dying to mix them together. Also, you can just see how much deeper these are compared to the first round of shades. I'm using Lavender Flush first. I've really been enjoying doing like a thin base layer. Oh, I can never get over the finish on these, but let's try the new purple shade. I'm just gonna start with a little bit. These seriously came at like the perfect time because I've been really enjoying doing like a point color on top of the thin layer that I placed. I just kind of like keep it localized and then softly blend it out. These are really pigmented by the way, so a little goes a long way if you have fair skin like me. And the end result is just to have this like juicy, plump, like almost you can pinch it kind of effect on the cheek. I just think it looks so cute and like so good with kind of like subtle gothic makeup, like the kind that I like to do. Literally so beautiful. I can't wait to try the rest of these shades. You guys, look what my husband bought me. If you are a Nana fan, you know exactly what these are. Little backstory, I dragged my husband to Tokyo the other day because I really wanted to go to this Nana pop-up. These are fragrances by the way, but they were all sold out and I was really sad about it. And this is what I woke up to this morning. He got the box set, both of the perfumes. There's one for Nana and then one for Hachi. I guess let's try these together because I didn't really get to smell them that in-depthly like at the store. I literally died. These are so amazing. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like Nana O's more, so let's try hers first. Here are the notes, and then this is the fragrance. Oh my god, it's so cute. First of all, for the people who say Nana canonically wears the same cologne as Rin, I know. And they know as well. They reference it here. This one is just their interpretation of a Nana fragrance. Let's try it. Oh, this actually really smells like a men's fragrance. I actually saw a lot of Japanese girls who bought this. They were really disappointed with Nana specifically just because it smelled like a men's cologne versus like a more like girly one. Didn't really pick it up in the store, but yeah, this one definitely smells very masculine, even though like perfume doesn't really have like genders, but definitely quite citrusy, but not like overwhelming. I can definitely smell the bergamot as well. I can smell the lavender, but it's not like overpowering. It just mixes really well in with the other notes. Also, the black currant is like coming out a little bit more now. And then there's just like a little bit of patchouli. It's really, really nice actually. I really enjoyed this. It's definitely not anything crazily unique, but for like an everyday wearable fragrance. It's also a Japanese fragrance brand by the way. You can't expect like too much craziness, but yeah, this is actually really nice. Okay, next is Hachi's. Oh my god, so cute. The attention to detail is just like so amazing. Here is Hachi's. I love how like her little keychain has pearls on it. Also, the glitter does come out when you spray it, so beware. Just based off the notes, this one looks like it's gonna be a lot more sweet and girly. Obviously makes a lot of sense. Actually, just like smelling this from the bottle, I can immediately get the strawberry note. This from here, it's kind of like an artificial strawberry candy fragrance, which I'm not mad at. Let's try it. Ooh, immediately this one is really rose heavy, and there's like a little bit of like violet and musk immediately as well. I love that like both of them kind of have some shared notes, but they're so completely different. It's definitely like a lot more powdery, not as sweet. Yeah, this is really nice. I'm really surprised I like this one. I thought I probably wouldn't, but you know what, I do like it. All right, well, I love both of these. They are definitely gonna be living on my vanity as a prized possession, not just because I love Nana, but because my husband got them for me, and anything my husband buys me I really treasure, and I keep it really close to my heart because I just love him so much. I just bought the most beautiful jacket ever. Like, look how gorgeous. Let's style it together. First off, I changed my blouse to this one that has a little bit more detail around the neck, so that's pretty much the only thing you'll be able to see under the jacket. So I don't know why, but I feel like these star earrings would be really cute. One thing about me is that I love a pop of red. Speaking of red, I am stuck between red or white tights because it's either this skirt or this one. Regardless, white goes better with both of them. In the yellow skirt. Yeah. This jacket's from Hey Hey, by the way, which is one of my favorite Japanese brands, if not my most favorite Japanese brand. I literally have so many pieces from them. I'm just gonna slip this over my head because I am way too lazy to unbutton and button all these back up with nails. Wait. I'm like speechless right now. This fits me so well. I'll back up so that you can really see. I think for shoes, I'm gonna wear these new Doc Martens that I got. Aren't these so pretty? They're like a Mary Jane with a pointed toe, which I feel like really matches the vibe with this jacket. I'm also tempted to add this harness also from Hey Hey, but I feel like it might be too much. Let's just try it. Ooh, it's like little doll dresses attached to it. I mean, like, it's kind of cute, right? At the same time, I kind of just want to give the jacket time to shine. I'm gonna add this cute little like red velvet bow right here. I feel like it gives like enough contrast up here. And then to keep it real simple, I'm gonna go with my black Doc Marten bag. As you can see, I only shop from like a couple brands. Okay, location change, but this is the finished outfit. I love the idea that makeup can be universal, and I also love the idea that you could do a full face of makeup with just like one palette. Today I want to challenge myself to use this one. This is the Year of the Snake palette from Shenyun in collaboration with Freya. If you don't follow her already, she is super rad. These are all creams, by the way, so first I'm going to take this gray shade as contour. Just putting a little bit on the side of my nose and then blending out with my finger. I think that looks quite nice. I don't really want to do a lot of contour because I'm planning to use this green shade as my blush. I have never tried like a neon green blush before, but I think I'm really gonna like it. That is such an interesting color. I'm actually kind of obsessed with this. I think this looks like really cool. But to make it look like a little bit more natural with my face, I'm gonna actually bring some on my nose and on the bottom of my chin and just softly blend it in with my foundation just so it looks kind of like more seamless, like it's a part of my skin tone. I mean, obviously it's not, but to bring out the green a little bit more, I'm wondering if I could add this shade, like just a little bit right in the center. I'm talking a tiny bit. I just want to give like a little bit of dimension. Okay, this looks a little bit crazy, but I'm gonna do kind of like a normal color for the eye. I'm thinking maybe like one of these brownie red colors. I'm gonna start first with this shade. Actually, it's kind of more gray. It's gonna go all over my eye. I haven't really done like a creative makeup look in like a week or two, so this is just like hitting me in my feels. Okay, to like deepen everything up, I'm gonna add this kind of like reddish brown color. I think it's gonna look more like gray on my eye. Maybe it's cheating, but I am gonna add a little bit of shimmer. What can I say? I am an addict. Eyeliner, mascara, brows. Since these are creams, I am gonna set my face very lightly, just a little bit. And then before I move on to lips, I'm just gonna add a couple of freckles just to match the kind of like brown color in my eyeshadow. I also think freckles make like a little bit more outlandish looks look more natural. Okay, finally we can move on to lips, and technically all of these colors could be used as a lipstick, and I think all of them would be so pretty, but I do kind of want to try like one of these two, and I'm leaning towards the matte, but if I don't like it, then I'm going to use the gloss. Start first with this gray matte as my base. Ooh, honestly, wait, this is so pretty with this look. Maybe I should just like keep the gray. Maybe I can just take a little bit of this like super dark green and place it just in the center. Ooh. Okay, I was gonna add the gloss on top, but you know what? I don't think it needs it. You know what though? I think I could try. A little bit right in the center. Okay, actually that's really pretty. I'm gonna set my face with this like very dewy setting spray. Okay, and here is the finished look. I love it. Actually, fun fact, even though I usually show grays and reds on here and occasionally other colors, I also love wearing green makeup. I just like never show it. I don't know why. But yeah, one palette, full face. I love the idea and I'm definitely gonna do it again. Okay, I was in Tokyo the other day shopping and Canmake just released some kind of like bleached eyebrow product. I swear like every once in a while Canmake will just release some kind of alt adjacent product. Got both of the colors. I think this one was like existing for a while. It's kind of a pinkish bleached color. And then this one has like a classic like yellow tone. I have high hopes for these because on the packaging it makes it look like you can really conceal your brow. These are actually called like brow concealers. I want to try the new shade first. This is Niban or like 02, sorry. This is what the color looks like. It does look really promising. I was a little bit worried it's gonna be like too yellow or warm tone, but this is very cool. I think just put it on and see what it does. Spoolie is really tiny. Canmake has really good eyebrow mascaras, by the way. Guessing you're probably gonna have to like build this up to get maximum opacity, but even this is like super cute. I love a light and brown. This is like a lot lighter than my other brow mascaras. I'm gonna do a second coat. Oh wow, this is really getting light. I think this is like where I'm gonna stop. I think if you built it more you could get it a lot lighter, but I don't want like a crunchy eyebrow. Yeah, but I really like this. Let's try 01. It's like a little bit more pinky salmon than the first shade. Hoping it's not too far off because I have something that I want to film after this. Well, this one like immediately feels like a little bit more opaque. I feel like they're almost at the same level already. Maybe because the peach color is like canceling out some of the darkness in my brow color. This one looks crazy light. Oh my god, that is like crazy. I've never tried a brow mascara this light because I feel like every time that they advertise that they do kind of like a bleach brow effect, they never like live up to what they say they're gonna do. I'm just gonna like put the pink color on this side to make them match a little bit more. I mean, these are honestly such a vibe. Canmake. I'm obsessed with this look and I feel like I'm gonna have to replace my other everyday eyebrow mascara with these, and the fact that they're really affordable and Canmake never disappoints. What can I say? Okay, I'm trying some new lashes today. Apparently these need no extra glue and you can just peel them and stick them on your eyes. So as a lazy round-eyed girly, I'm very curious to see if these actually work. And if they do, I'm gonna be so happy. It says just stick and blink. So here's what they look like. Moment of truth. Wow, that was so easy. Another one. Gonna put it on the outside of my eye. Another. These are so pretty. I know you can't really see them because I have like very round eyes and it's hard to see on camera what they look like, but alright, so that was like the easiest application of false lashes in my life. Why have I not tried these until now? Okay, unpopular opinion. Inexcusable Evil from talkkk is actually super wearable. It is definitely not as horrifying or revolting as some creators or reviewers make it seem like. And honestly, it makes me kind of think that they're overreacting on purpose, maybe for views or clout. I'm not really sure. Yes, it is strange and it definitely has some odd notes, but at its core, it's just kind of like a powdery floral. Yes, there is a note of blood and iodine and gunpowder, and you definitely can smell those notes in here, but it's all mixed together so well with the floral aspect that it really melts it out, and at least to me makes it pretty wearable. If you already like weird fragrances, which you probably do if you have your eye on talkkk at all, like it definitely is weird but not at all repulsive like some people, I don't know, pretend. I really don't know how I feel about the fact that this is kind of like the final boss of offensive fragrances when one, it's not offensive at all, and two, it's very anti-war, pro-human. Yes, you should be a little bit uneasy smelling this because that is the intended purpose, but I really don't think it's enough to like instantly jerk away from. Like I see so many people doing that. I don't know, like the whole like sampling or buying this just to do an internet trend is like kind of sad, but hey, maybe I'm just a weird goth girl who enjoys unique fragrance profiles. But yeah, really wearable in my opinion, and not that scary in my opinion, and quite lovely after it dries down. Girl Cult Spring Collection is finally here. This time everything's inspired by traditional Chinese herbology and is a major Baiju fan. First off, here is the mirror and then the smaller one, as well as the extras that you get, which does include a little copy of the Bin Sao Gongmu, which is a very famous medicinal encyclopedia from the Ming Dynasty. I picked out a couple things I'm interested in, so let's try them together. Starting first with their cream face palette. Also, look at this packaging. I don't know how they did it, but they made this face gloss look like cat's eye. I'm gonna try this brightening shade first. Kind of reminds me of the one that they had in their last spring collection, the peach one. Wow, that is so brightening. I'm going to try the cream blush next, which I'm pretty sure is gonna be a little too warm for me, but that's okay. The color is like really cute, kind of like red bean paste. I'm gonna do a little bit across my nose. And then of course I have to try this face gloss. Also the print stays. I was really worried about that. Let's see. Whoa. Yeah. And then even though I'm not using it, I also want to shout out the highlighter in the matte palette. It is so pretty. Okay, moving on to eyeshadow. There are two palettes in the collection. Both are very green. I'm gonna use the mattes from 060 first. Look at the embossing. First is kind of like neutral shade all over my eyes. That is such a pretty color all by itself. Then deepening everything with this shade. And then basically I'm just gonna go crazy with the shimmers in this palette. Taking the lime green, whoa, and putting that on the center of my eye. So my aegyo. Then this like emerald green on the outer part of my eye. Whoa. And finally this kind of like teal shade everywhere else. Here's the finished eye look. I also added freckles and some fake moles. Alright, so there are a bunch of lip shades in this collection and they do all look really pretty. However, I picked out 4 that I'm the most interested in, so I'm going to swatch all of these. I have 3 from the matte formula and then 1 from the kind of like solid gloss. Starting first with S01. Super pretty neutral shade. Wow. Next up is S06. Ooh, this is like the perfect like muddy brownish red 90s color. I feel like I've been searching for this shade for so long. Very excited for this one. This is S07. It's kind of like a dark mossy brownish green. Super unique. I have never seen anything like this. Wow, this color is so pretty. It almost has like a gray quality. And then from the glossy formula, L10 seems to be a sister to this shade, except it has like green shimmer in there. I'm going to apply it with a lip liner. Oh, yeah. This is one of the prettiest lip shades I've ever seen, and it just completely made this collection for me. Like, seriously, I'm like speechless. This color is so pretty. And then this is the finished look. I would say I don't know how they do it, but who wouldn't like an alt vibe mixed with like traditional Chinese culture? Love. Okay, so Ritual to Feet just expanded their contour range, and now there is officially a spooky contour for every skin tone. I have all of them here today, so I thought we could do some swatches and try all of them. Now, first of all, these 2 shades already exist. Super light contour and then a really dark one. And then these are the 3 new shades that fill the range. I'm gonna go light to dark, starting with Intuition. You can see mine is used and abused. This is kind of a light gray with a slight taupe to mauve tinge to it. This was my favorite gray lipstick forever, but today I'm gonna use it as a contour. I actually do a full face with all of these because they are multi-purpose. But yeah, this shade is like the perfect pale girl contour. It's literally perfect. Next up is the new shade Omen. They said it's a softly cool toned taupe. I think this would make a really good lipstick, but today I'm going to use it as eyeshadow. Honestly, I think all of these colors would make really good lipstick, and I'll probably do a different swatch video of all of them on the lips. But I'm just going to take this all over my eyes so you can see the color. This is such a pretty eyeshadow color. Another new shade, this is Premonition. They describe this as a shadowy sable with a touch of ashen mauve. It does sheer out really nicely, so I'm going to attempt it as a blush. This could go wrong, but I am going to try my best. Ooh, that is a really interesting color. It's like a ghoulish blush tour. You know what? 10 out of 10. I would use this again as a blush. Moving on to the next shade, this is Divination. And this is a very dark brown, almost black, like a warm black. Since they're starting to get so dark, I'm just gonna use this a little bit on my eyes, and then I'm gonna swatch it as a lipstick. So just putting a little here. Wow, that's really pigmented. Now on the lips, ooh, I'm going to sheer it out a bit. This is so pretty. Oh my god. Even just like build up the center a little bit. Okay, and then the last one is an existing shade, and this is Eclipse. It is super dark and almost has like an aubergine kind of like purpley blue quality to it. Such a pretty lipstick. I love this shade. Is this not stunning? Alright, and then this is the finished look. 10 out of 10 contour range. I feel like this is what we have been asking for. Ritual to Feet, on behalf of the goth girls, thank you. Okay, I bought a bunch of K-beauty lippies and they all kind of look spooky and weird. I've been looking for some everyday like muted mauve shades, so let's see if there are any winners. First up, I had to try these lip tints from Introphy. Never really heard of this brand before, but the packaging and the colors look so cool. Immediately was intrigued by this shade called Barrel. Let's try it. Ooh. Here's what the color looks like. I wish it was a little bit more purple, but I do definitely really like this. This one looks more purple though, so let's see. This is Taffyette. Not a mauve like I was hoping, but definitely a really pretty, like almost muted berry shade. This last one is Smoky Quartz, and I just bought this one for fun because I was kind of interested to see a brown Korean lip tint. Maybe a little bit too warm for me, especially with this makeup. I do think this is really pretty, especially for like warm tone girls. Okay, next up I have this like super interesting pale lilac color. The brand Ingia or Inga, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. This is also a new brand to me. I saw this like vaguely trending on Japanese Twitter a couple months ago. Just like a super interesting milky lip tint. I've never seen anything like this. Let's try it. Whoa, that is so pretty. I truly have never seen another lip tint like this. Kind of speechless. This color is everything. I think this might be the winner, even though I haven't tried the other ones. I forgot to mention, but the shade is called Splash, and I'm definitely gonna have to get some backups because this is crazy beautiful. Well, on that high note, moving on, I had this Lily by Red Jelly Bite in Grape. I guess you're supposed to like squeeze it. Whoa. Okay, the packaging is definitely hard to work with. I don't know if I like that. This is what it looks like, and I don't know if this one's my favorite. I'll probably just like throw this in my bag if I go to like the grocery store or something. Okay, next up I have these lip tints from Wake Make. I would say the packaging doesn't look like anything extraordinary, but the shade range definitely does. I'll put it up on the screen, but they definitely had a couple of like really interesting muted shades. I don't know if you can tell, but like all the shades look very muted, like they have a drop of black in them. This first one is Nude. Ooh, yeah, this was what I was looking for. See how it's mauve but just kind of like muted a little bit. The shade Courtney also looks really beautiful. Oh yes, you just see that like drop of black in these. I mean, like, look at this shade. I think this is definitely the winner. But even though I'm gonna try Wintry as well, I feel like out of all the K-beauty brands, Wake Make definitely has Winter Girls back. Like, they always put out stuff for us. And they did it again. Look at this beautiful, like, muted cranberry shade. This is so good for winters. I'm, like, kind of obsessed. Well, I ran out of time to try these, but that's okay because my lips are so tinted. We'll have to try them though, so probably another video. As for the winners, I would definitely say these four, but specifically Courtney and New from Wake Make. Okay, to all of the Souls lovers, what do they put in these games? I played Elden Ring for the first time 7 months ago. And look at me now. Cannot stop thinking about this game. I cannot stop playing this game. And honestly, I don't understand because when I played this the first time, I fucking hated it. Way too hard. It reminded me how much I didn't like Dark Souls 2 that my friend tried to get me to play like 10 years ago. But then it was like I couldn't stop thinking about it, and I came back months later, beat the whole game, went through the whole DLC, no fragments by the way, and have also made like 3 other characters to beat the game separately. I am somebody who never finishes games, and if I do finish them, I never play them again. But my only thought when I beat this for the first time was, I want to do that again, but like harder. And then you know what? Elden Ring wasn't enough. So I had to play Dark Souls 3, and then I needed more. So then I had to play Bloodborne, and then I realized I love Bloodborne more than like any of the other games in the series. And then I was like, I need more than that. So I got Dark Souls 2, which I previously really hated, but now I kind of get it. I can't go like 30 minutes without talking about a Souls game. Just don't feel anything from other games anymore because I'm like comparing them to Souls games. I already have a cosplay set up for the doll from Bloodborne. Like, what's wrong with me? And most annoying of all, I feel like I've joined the like FromSoft cult where it's like I have to recommend this game at all times. I also listen to the soundtracks in my spare time when I'm not playing this game. Like, I'm addicted to it. I don't know what to do. What is in these games? Someone please tell me. Where to buy makeup in Japan. This is for all my girls who want to know where to buy makeup, specifically like goth makeup or the kind of cool makeup that I show outside of department stores and drugstores. I always get this question, so I hope this helps. Alright, for anything K-beauty or mainstream C-beauty, you're gonna want to check out Qtin. It's basically like Japanese eBay. This is where I buy a lot of my makeup. This website is dangerous. A lot of the Korean brands will actually have flagship stores on there that you can actually just buy directly from Korea for the best price, the newest releases, and all the kind of cool stuff that you don't really see in stores. stores. They even have all the smaller, like more alternative K-beauty brands that even Olive Young doesn't carry, like Job into Soul or 2/4 or even just like Keep in Touch, those kind of ones. They also have a lot of mainstream CBD on there as well, like Juicy, Girl Cole, Yoo-Hoo. Speaking of CBD, one of my most popular questions, one of my most DM'd question is, I'm coming to Japan, where do I find that really cool goth Chinese makeup that you show? And unfortunately, you're never gonna find those in the store here. I don't even think you can find those brands in like mainland China in the store, but there is a really good website if you just like have somebody who lives in Japan or you have enough time that you can actually like order something and get it shipped to you, and that is Jume. I used to order a lot of my makeup from there. They carry like all of the smaller, more alternative CBD brands. That's actually where I found a lot of CBD brands back in the day before I started ordering from like Taobao and just actually like working with them. They're a little pricier than Taobao, but you can just pay in yen. It takes like a lot of the hassle out of it. When you're not ordering directly from Taobao, you're always gonna have to pay a little bit more, so it just is what it is. And lastly, there is Plaza. I mention them all the time. They are my favorite physical store to visit to shop for makeup. They might not have like all the goth makeup options, but they are super fast when it comes to trending Korean makeup. If you want to know anything that's trending in Korea or Japan, you should just shop there because they will have it like stat. They also have all the popular Japanese drugstore brands, which is really nice because not every drugstore carries them all, like Handmake, Sezon, etc. And then if you're lucky, some locations actually carry a lot of CBD. Like that's where I found Flower Nose for the first time back like years ago. So yeah, I hope this helps. Those are my 3 main go-to places to shop for makeup. I personally think they are the best locations, and I am really sorry to all the people who are like coming on vacation in Japan and want to buy really cool goth makeup because it just doesn't really exist here physically. You will have to order it online. Okay, didn't think that my goth AF carrot was going to get 4 million views. I considered everyone's recommendation and my own, so I'm going to do a little try on. Also, these just taste like the earth for anyone who was wondering. Alright, by far the #1 recommendation I got from everyone was Cyber from MAC. It's what they look like side by side, and also swatched, and I would have to agree. I actually even forgot I had this shade. I do think it's like a touch dustier than the carrot, but it definitely matches the vibe. The Come to Plum was my next pick. I think it matches like the center of the carrot, like the juice. Next up, I didn't see a single person recommend this lipstick. This is Shot Down from Melt Cosmetics from their like Nightmare Before Christmas release. This is what it looks like, and you can see why I had a lot of difficulty with this carrot. It actually has a really intense purple undertone, and I feel like this one has kind of a more red undertone. Actually, a lot of people were recommending lipsticks that were dark in color, but they had more of a red undertone, like this one from Yoo-Hoo. I got this recommendation a lot, but this is actually more of a rusty red color. Maybe another niche pull from Melt Cosmetics. This is Weirder from their Beetlejuice collection from like 5 years ago. I probably shouldn't even have this anymore, but I feel like this matches like the darkest part of the carrot with some light purple shimmer, I guess, if it's fun. Just put this in the center of my lips. Definitely this combo is giving goth carrot. In terms of a sheer option, I have 2 choices. Many people were recommending black cherry, and like not everything can be black cherry if it's just vaguely berry dark color, like please. This shade instead from Givenchy I think is much closer. Let's continue these, but this is 01 in light from like a couple years ago. This is what I think people think Black Honey looks like. Then my lip gloss option is Audie from Risky Beauty. I did see some people recommending this one, and I would have to agree. I'll just put a little bit in the center of my lip so you can see. All people said that I could DIY, like melt this carrot down and like make it into some kind of lip balm or lip gloss. I'm not doing that, but if I did, I think this is what it would look like. Okay, last 3 picks, and I think this one is the closest, but I'll show these 2. I did have some people recommending these, and I would have to kind of agree. These are Scorpion Fruit and Queen of the Night from Kaleidos. I do think they are really close, but they just quite aren't purple enough. Try them on though. This is Queen of the Night, and I'm going to sheer it out, and then I'm going to put Scorpion Fruit in the center. This is like the blackest black purple you could ever find. Like this is like only one step away from black. It's such a cool shade. This is what they look like compared to the carrot. You can see it's really close, but just a little bit too warm if I had to be nitpicky. This is science after all. Okay, last pick, and in my opinion the closest. This is Purgatory from Black Moon Cosmetics. This is what the shade looks like, and here is the carrot next to it. I think if I want to be biblically accurate, I'll use Succumb to Plum from MAC as the base layer, and then go in with Purgatory right in the center and blend out. More accurate goth carrot. Okay, today I'm finally organizing my perfume collection. I'm moving everything from here to here. This is like an antique chadansu, which is like a tea cabinet. I thought all my fragrances would look really nice in this kind of display area, so I hope they all fit. A lot of people have been asking for like a full fragrance collection tour, and this won't be that, but I can show some of my favorites. This is Beauty du Diable from Liquid Imaginaire. It smells like a dangerous, like haunted old church. I'm gonna put Bloody Wood right next to it because it's one of my other favorites from the same brand. Grabbing my Serge Lutens. This is Du Profundus. It basically smells like a goth violet garden, and I guess I'm gonna have to put it right here since it doesn't doesn't really fit anywhere else. Love these two as well, and they're gonna have to go here because they're too tall. Up here, these are all of my like kind of soft goth fragrances. I don't think I've talked about this one, but this is China White, and my friend recommended this to me, and it basically is like the best incense fragrance ever. It smells like an old Buddhist antique shop. I love it. Up here, I'm gonna put my Short Kings. This one is from Regime de Fleur, and it smells like mulled wine. Then I have Bloody Smoke back there, and then my Inexcusable Evil. Not as scary as people say. And here's what I call my yellow brown fragrances, things that just give me the vibe of yellow brown. I just like to categorize by like color and feel, I guess. Fun fact, Jazz Club is the one that originally got me into wanting to collect like weirder perfumes. Next up, these are my favorite Penhaligons. This is Halfetti, and then Arthur, Incense Vanilla, and then a really beautiful gothic black rose. All right, so over here, I'm gonna say these are my weird dark forest, rainy, smell like things that they shouldn't fragrances. I don't think I've talked about this one, but this is a quincum from Picture of Fragrance, and this literally smells like a photorealistic Roman bathhouse, like an ancient Roman bathhouse. It is so unique, so cool. If you are a Roman Empire girly, you would probably dig this one, or someone who's like into experimental archaeology. Gonna just sprinkle some other fragrances in different places. For samples and roller balls, I'm actually gonna put everything in here. These are all of my samples. This is most of them, and I like to keep them in these kind of like metal containers. I do have a couple of fragrances that I haven't opened yet and need to sort, but here's what my fragrance collection looks like now. Literally so beautiful. I feel like it looks so good. Somebody's gonna have to hold my hand right now, because isn't this usually how the full collection from Flower Nose comes? Right? Okay, today I have a very special CBD palette to showcase. My own! It's literally so weird that I get to review my own palette. So without further ado, her. This is the Blight Moon palette in collaboration with Noir Corn. Our new brand started with CBD Mall, who I am really good friends with. Here's what the cover looks like, and I got to do all the artwork for this. I'm so happy they let me do it so I could perfectly encapsulate my vision. I was really inspired by like gothic gardening or poisonous plants, especially for the spring, and then also Dark Souls. And here she is. So beautiful. She came out so well. I really wanted to make a super special color story that I've never really seen before. There are 6 mattes and then 4 really special shimmers. Basically, my concept behind this, other than the things I mentioned before, was to combine my favorite qualities of eyeshadow together, which is vampy reds and grays, then like toxic greens. I just think they work so well together. Also, yes, this is Ruby Flame from CBD Mall. This is kind of our baby that we made together, so she had to be there. I'm not going to talk too much, but I did want to go through the shades one by one and kind of talk about my process. First of all, I feel like every palette needs a trusty black and a gray. This is Soot and Grave Light. I try to keep them very neutral. And then next we have Gilded and Obscura. Gilded kind of has a wet formula, and it's an iridescent red. I wanted it to be able to be used as a eyeshadow topper or also a highlighter, as you see I have on my cheek. And then Obscura is a really interesting purple color that kind of takes on the colors of whatever is around it. So it can look gray, can look purple, it can look a little bit more reddy orange or even blue green. So I thought it would match all the shades in the palette really well, but also bringing in like a purple quality to it. Next is Lumen and Vilethorn. They make up the acid green backbone of the palette. And then on the red side we have Bloodstone and Ruby Flame. Bloodstone is like the perfect maroon red that doesn't have a berry undertone at all. And then obviously I don't think I have to say anything for Ruby Flame. And lastly there is Chimeweed and Wraithwood. Chimeweed is kind of the standard shimmer that I wanted to have in the palette that is really sparkly and meant to be used with all of the other shades. And then Wraithwood is a very dark grayish green. I wanted it to be able to darken up the green shades without turning them like emerald, and then also be able to be used with the gray to kind of keep the ghoulish quality. I would say actually all of the colors are meant to be used with each other to get like different combinations and effects. I really wanted everyone to have a lot of fun like layering shades and coming up with new color combinations they wouldn't normally think of. I truly hope if anyone is interested and picks this up that you guys love it as much as I do. This is literally my baby and it makes me so happy just to look at it, so I hope you guys have the same reaction. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for always supporting me. This is like a dream come true. Okay, for today's makeup, I'm thinking I'm gonna combine these two together. This is my collab palette, and this one is Freya's Do We See the Vision? Get ready with me. I feel like I haven't done one of these in so long. My friends have been visiting Japan like back to back, so I have been really busy and not really able to play with makeup. For my eyeshadow today, I want to stick with the vampy colors in my palette because I've shown a lot of the greens, but not so many of these. Also, don't mind this gigantic mosquito bite on my finger. I got bit last night. The worst part about the summer in Japan is not just the heat, but also the mosquitoes. By the way, I'm starting with with my grave light. I saw some people commenting about my palette, like they were surprised I did something so colorful. But this is actually my second collab. The first one is still in the works, and that one is definitely a lot more gray. I'm using Bloodstone, by the way. And also, even though I only really show gray looks on my page, I actually do a lot more colorful looks in like everyday real life. But when I try products, I kind of like to have a blank base or something to show the product and not be like distracted by the rest of my makeup. And this might be a little crazy, but I think I'm gonna take Ruby Flame and put this in my inner corner. I'm not sure how this will look. Okay, it's like a little dark for my skin tone, but I think I'm gonna add some black to add some contrast back in. Taking Soot, and I'm just going to darken the front part of my eye and then also the outer part. Okay, I think this looks really cool. I'm gonna take Gilded and place it on my bottom eyelid for my aegyo, and then a little bit on the top part of my lid. I was actually wanting to put a silver in here, but I was kind of like, I feel like people already have a silver in their collection, so I wanted to give like a lot more like cooler shades. But I would say if I could add any shade to this and have an 11th shade, it would be just a pure silver. Like I feel like that would unlock a lot of looks, but at the same time I feel like people have silvers in their collection, so it wouldn't be like adding a lot of value, which is kind of what I wanted to do with this one. But just for fun though, I do want to see what like a little bit of silver would do to these shadows. Ooh, gonna do mascara and eyeliner, brow concealer, and then moving on to Freya's palette, I kind of want to do like a weird grayish blush. I'm gonna try this shade. Very lightly go on the top of my cheeks, then just blend out with my finger. And taking a little bit of this shade, I'm just going to darken the center a little bit. Also add some to my nose. This is my trick to make like any blush color look normal, even though it's not a normal color. And then I know this looked a little crazy, but just wait. Add some powder, some fake freckles, blend the red a little bit into it, and boom, it looks rad. For lips, there's a lot of options, but I'm kind of drawn to this like sage green. So pretty. I attempted to leave it right here, but I do want to add a little bit of depth, so I'm gonna take this shade right in the middle and just like barely blend it out. Okay, definitely had to trust the process, but this is the finished look. I think these are a match made in heaven. So I've been trying to expand my jewelry collection lately because I've gone from hating jewelry and the way it feels on my skin to actually really enjoying the way it looks and not minding it as much anymore. So I've been investing in pieces recently that really speak to me, and I found this artist recently here on TikTok. I'll link them below, and they just make the most beautiful jewelry I've ever seen. Are these not stunning? Oh my god, I have to put them on right now. All of their jewelry have these really beautiful little faces on them that they hand sculpt and then paint. I want to wear these today. Are these just not like everything? Look at the details. They are so cute. I'm literally obsessed. I feel like they match my style so well. They also do custom pieces, so I asked them to make a choker with everything pearly and black and then with a red face. Look how pretty the details are on here. I thought these would look so good together. I mean, come on. I never thought I could become a jewelry lady, but I am starting to see the appeal. Seriously, this is everything. Okay, we have another alternative K beauty brand on the market. This is Cherie XX. I'm not sure exactly how the brand pronounces their name. The colors, the vibe, everything looks so cool. So I picked up 4 shades so we can try them. If there's one thing about me, I will always support an alternative Asian beauty brand. All right, let's open the first one. Whoa. These are really heavy, by the way, just like even in the packaging. These are so cool. And I love that these are all individually patinaed. Like they all have a different finish on them. These are like pure metal, I'm pretty sure. Here's what the bottoms look like. They also had little keychains that you could attach to these, but I didn't pick any of those up. I want to see what the bullet looks like. Ooh, I think this is the darkest color that they had. It's called Shady Lady, and I'm gonna swatch all of them, but let's start with this one first. Not sure what to expect, so I'm just going to go in. Ooh, okay, it's definitely like a sheer style lipstick, like one of those like kind of blotted lips, I'm pretty sure. These also smell really good. It looks a lot brighter on camera, but in real life, it's like a very deep, dark, blackened cherry color. Like it doesn't have a lot of the brightness that you're seeing on the camera, or at least that I see on the monitor. This is seriously one of the prettiest, like vampy red everyday lip colors I've tried in a long time. It will definitely be my favorite, I'm pretty sure. Okay, next up is their lightest shade. This is Ballet Shoes. I'm really curious if this will be too warm for me. And I think it might be. But I feel like still it has kind of like a muted peach quality to it. This is definitely one of the most muted peach colors I've ever tried. I could definitely get this to work for me. Okay, next up is Ready to Kiss. I believe this is kind of like the staple of this collection because it's very red inspired, at least from what I see. Whoa, that is a lot brighter than I was expecting. But if you like really blend it out, it becomes this like everyday kind of wearable red shade, like a popsicle lip color. It's like so classy, you know? Okay, last shade is Rude Nude. It looks kind of like a pinkish nude color. On the website, they made it look look a little bit cool tone, but I would say on the lips it definitely looks a lot more neutral. This one is definitely like a true super muted peach. I actually don't have a lipstick in this shade. It also has kind of like a mauve quality to it. I honestly think this is my favorite shade out of all of them. But yeah, first Risky Beauty and now Sherry XX. I feel like as a goth girl we are eating really good recently in the K-beauty industry. Definitely check them out. Okay, so apparently Skin 104 has something called a zombie pack. And actually, even though it's one of my favorite brands, I didn't even know that they had a whole line of like spooky products called Zombie Beauty. I don't know how I didn't know this. I have a couple of products here, but I was most interested in the zombie one. So I guess get unready with me so we can try this. Okay, so I washed my face and I'm back. Let's open this and see what's inside. Whoa, you get like 8 masks worth, I think. And it says the results are pretty instant after you're done with it. It's supposed to help with pores and saggy skin and fine lines. This is what my skin looks like right now. Also, don't mind the glitter. You just put this activator in the pouch and then you can apply it to your face. You put the liquid in and mix it like this. Oh wow, that smells really interesting. And then you just apply it with the brush. It says these actually contain a lot of albumin, which is found in egg whites. And if you are a beauty history girly, you know how much people love their egg whites for beauty purposes. I can already feel it giving like a tightening effect. It does kind of feel like you're putting egg whites on your face, but like in a good way. It says to leave it on for about 10 to 15 minutes, so I will be back. Okay, it's been like 10 or 15 minutes. I can't move my mouth, and also I have to say I understand why they call it the zombie pack. Like, this is crazy. It says now I have to wash it off with warm water, so I'm gonna go do that. But yeah, look at this. Oh my god. And this is what the results look like. I definitely feel like my face is very tightened, and I also have like a little wrinkle here usually, but it's like been really smoothed over. I also didn't dry my skin out as much as I was expecting, which usually happens with any kind of mask that says it's gonna clear out my pores. Okay, well that was a 10 out of 10 experience. I don't know what I was expecting, but I am pleasantly surprised. I feel like my skin looks really good and it feels happy, which is most important. I think Skin 104 can't do any wrong, and I'm really excited to try the other. I mean, look at this palette. This powder, oh my god. Even the brushes. This is Flower Nose's new Shells Jewel collection. And I actually have the whole collection here, so let's try some things on. This will be my first impressions, and then I'll do a review in the next video, but I want to base everything around this palette like a Solen mermaid vibe. I'm gonna start first with their tone-up cream. Placing the purple shade in the center of my face and the green everywhere else. Okay, the purple is a lot more pigmented than I was expecting. Whoa. This is what it looks like. Definitely a really pretty, and it kind of looks like I'm wearing foundation even though I'm not. Moving on to eyes, this palette is definitely the thing that I am #1 excited about, because honestly this color story just speaks to my soul. Oh, it's just everything I could ever want. I'm gonna start with the lighter gray. I'm just going to sweep this all over my eye. Next, taking the darker gray and just starting to deepen everything up. Also, I'm blowing this way out. Then this kind of dark blue shade. Whoa. Gonna deepen my whole eyelid. Also place some on my nose, adding the white to my inner corner. Now for this shade, it really looks just like Moon River. Placing that all over my lid and my aegyo. Then a little bit of this shimmer, whoa, in the center. Okay, moving on to blush, there are so many pretty shades to choose from. I think my heart says this one. This is Luna Pearl. This feels bad every time, but these kind of have like a sheen to them. I'm just going to apply it with my finger. Okay, actually maybe trying the brush. Let's see. They have like a slight highlighting effect, but the glitter in these is not chunky at all, which is what I prefer when it comes to cheek highlights. It really reminds me of like a Japanese blush kind of formula. Moving on to a powder, and up until now, this has been my favorite powder compact from Flower Nose. Like, this one is absolutely stunning, but this one takes the cake. It is so beautiful, and the powder inside is baked, I believe, and it has kind of like a blue quality. Just take some and set my face. I really love blue toner products, so I'm pretty sure this is gonna get a lot of use. Before I do lips, they do have these little highlight bombs that come in these keychain compacts. I'm gonna try the blue one right on the high points of my cheek. This is also one that just doesn't have a lot of chunky glitter, which I love. These are my favorite kinds of highlighters. If you follow me, then you know that. Now for lips, to be honest, most of these are not my shade. They're kind of warm, almost all of them. So I'm actually going to mute my lips and add this gray shade from the Deep Sea palette, by the way. I think I didn't mention that. Right in the center. And then use their clear shade in P06. It also has some like blue iridescent shimmer, but I don't know if you can see that on camera. Ooh, yeah. Love this formula. It's been my favorite from their other collections as well. And then here is the finished look. I think this came out so well, and it looks so good in real life. Flower Nose, and they do no wrong. Okay, for some reason, Flower Nose sent me their whole new collection. This is the Shells Jewel collection. The whole vibe of everything is mermaids, and it's absolutely stunning. It's a really big collection as well, and this is a look that I just did using everything, so I want to give my thoughts. This is going to be a very quick rundown because there are a lot of products that I have to get through, so I'm going to start with the eyeshadow palettes. I think they are the crown jewel of this collection. Obviously, my favorite is 03 Deep Sea. That's the one I have on my eyes and also on my lips. But Cool Tone Girlies rejoice because both of the other palettes are very suitable for us. Next up are the blushes, and this is another favorite product in the collection for me. I mean, first of all, I feel like I could say this with all of the products, so I'm not going to say it again, but the packaging is so beautiful. Like, they really outdid themselves this time. But I love this blush formula because it has a little bit of a sheen in there without being like too glittery. They also have two other highlighters that come in these little compacts, and they also are the kind of highlighter that doesn't have a chunky glitter in it. Really, really beautiful sheen without being sparkly. Next up, a couple of base products. Every time I think that they've made the most beautiful powder compact and it can't get better than that, they go and prove me wrong. This is so beautiful. Powder is really nice. It's a lot thinner than their other kinds of powders, and the tone up quality isn't super strong, so I think a lot of people could use this. But obviously, if you're a little bit darker than my skin tone, I do think this would be a bit ashy on most people. Then next up, they have 3 toning creams. There's a pink one, a green one, and then a purple one. When I put these on, it literally looked like I was wearing foundation. Like, that's how good the color correction was. But I do think that if you are any darker than me, you could not use these. I will say I'm surprised that they include these in the international release, which is the collection that I have, because usually these stay in Asia. But I guess if you're outside of Asia and you've been looking for a tone up product as a pale girly, you could check these out. Before I get to lips, I just wanted to show the tools. The mirrors in this collection are so beautiful. They have this like light reflecting stuff in there that makes it look like there's water under there. All of the packaging kind of has that, but yeah, these are so beautiful. And also, I think these are my favorite brushes that they've ever done. It just looks like a big hunking crystal with a brush on the top. Like, who would not want this? Oh, actually, another product before we get to lips is these dual-ended like eyeliner things. I think they're meant for doing aegosol, but I haven't tried them yet. If you like cream eyeshadows, especially ones that go on your aegosol, I feel like this is something that people would like. And then for the lip glosses, I will say these are kind of underwhelming for me, and it's not because the formula is bad or anything. It's just that pretty much all of the shades are not really suited for super cool tone people like me. Lots of warm shades. But I will say that my favorite shades are P08. It's kind of like this neutral pinky brown color. Then P06, which is a clear gloss, but I got a little bit of gray on there. And yeah, that is the whole collection. I feel like this is another banger from them. I pretty much liked everything in here. Like, there's nothing that I would not recommend, but definitely these two are like the star of the show. Okay, I finally got a hold of all the weird Ramon lip tint colors. Definitely most excited for the blue and the green. Let's try them all. To be fully transparent, I am going to mute out my lips between all of them so you can really see the color. Starting first, of course, with Odd Mulberry. Let's see. Whoa. Okay, wait, I love this. People always ask me what my makeup inspirations are and how I got to do the makeup that I do, and one of my main ones was Sasuke's curse mark form from the first season of Naruto. I feel like this is literally his lip color that I have been searching for. Absolutely love. Next, I want to try Wild Pear, which is supposed to be kind of like a mustard yellow shade. Okay, that is very interesting. I'm actually not mad about it. I think that looks really cool. I would definitely wear this again. Next up is the purple. This is Campbell Grape. Like a very light lilac fuchsia color. Reminds me of their Kuromi collab, except this one has a lot more like purple and white pigment in it. I definitely really like this one as well. For those who haven't seen this before, the Black Ramon lip tint that I kind of helped work on, this is Blackberry. I have so many backups of this shade at this point. Honestly, I have to physically restrain myself not to wear this shade every day. It is one of my absolute favorites. Next up is the green shade Avocado. I can't believe Ramon made something like this. This one is definitely kind of streaky. I think it's because it's so light. It's also a really interesting like glow-in-the-dark green color. I definitely like this though. I could see myself using this for a more like creative, colorful look. The last two are a little bit less weird, but these are exclusive to the flagship and the pop-up in Tokyo. This brown one is Cocoa Palm. I actually saw that Ramon's teasing a brown lip tint, so I am very excited to see what they make. I hope it's like a cooler version of this shade because that would literally be perfect. But this one is also really pretty. It's giving like 90s brown red, but like in a Korean lip tint. All right, and then this last one is Korean Raspberry. Oh yes, so pretty if you are a winter girly. All right, then if I had to say which one was my favorite out of these, it would have to be this blue like Sasuke one. Happy Pride Month, you guys. I have something really exciting that I want to show you. Ritual Defee is releasing 3 limited edition lip oils for Pride, and 100% of the proceeds will go directly to nonprofits that support trans and queer communities. I'll list them all below. Let's try them all together because I just think this is so cool, and I never get to like partake in stuff like this, like living over in Japan. First up, and by far the one I'm most excited for, this is Night Flower. It has like a blackened base. They all have blackened base with a red shimmer in it. This is what one layer looks like, and then this is what it looks like all built up. I will say the red shimmer is kind of hard to see in like indoor lighting, but in the sunlight I think it would be really pretty outside. So I just want to say before the next one, shout out to my By Awakening because these are giving very much hex girls. Okay, this next one is Night Glow. I think this one definitely leans a little bit more gray, which I love. This one's so sparkly and metallic. I think it definitely might be my favorite. All right, and then the last one is Night Bloom. Ooh, yeah. I like how even though all of these have a black base and like a shimmer, they all kind of have like a different effect on the lips. This one is definitely the softest of the bunch, but I love that. Honestly, these are all so beautiful and I love the idea. I love the concept. These come out tomorrow, Friday the 13th in America, and thank you so much, Rich Sophie, for letting me be a part of this. Okay, listen, I saw these on Taobao, I saw that they were cute, and I saw that they were spooky, and I was like, I do need to decorate my new Doc Bart mag that I got in Seoul. So I thought we could open these together and see which one pleases my bird brain, and then the rest will go to my friends. By the way, this is the Dark Forest series from Maymay. Never tried them before, but all of the designs look so cute. I don't know how I'm gonna choose. Let's start with this one. Oh, they're so cute. Oh my god, they have like a little skull and crossbones in their eyes. This one's like a little spooky like haunted teddy bear. This one is the bear bell. Next one. Okay. Oh, this is so cute. I feel like this one is like kind of matching my vibe today, like with the like peach and gray. This is Crazy Ada. Just noticed under her eye patch she has a little skull. Don't know how she's gonna be topped, but we can move on to the next one. Let's see. She's like a little purple bat. The face is so cute. There's even like fur in her ear. She's just called Vampire and she is really cute, but I feel like I like the other designs so far better. Okay, next up I really want to see the goats because I'm a huge Cult of the Lamb fan, so I thought they looked like the characters from there. I mean, I had a 2 out of 3 chance, but look, I love goats and lambs. Oh my god, just like a little cross on the belly and like an eyeball on their head. Oh my god, so cute. Kind of actually obsessed with her. She has like a little plus and minus in her eyes. I mean, like the bow bag and the goth lamb. Her name is Axel Block, by the way. All right, now it's getting a little bit stressful because I like so many of them and I don't know which one I'm gonna choose. Oh, this one has like a dress. Whoa, this one is so interesting. Not really my style, but I love the detail on here. Like, once again, there's like a little candle on her stomach and like fishbone eyes. She has like a little ghost costume. I definitely have a friend who's gonna love this one. Her name is Ghost Elda. Okay, last one should be the white goat now. How cute. She's exactly like the black lamb except like different colors. Her eyes are like also inverted. Her name was Fiend White, by the way, so now let's choose. Honestly, I think Crazy Ada has to be the winner. Like, the amount of details in this one are so crazy. I think she would just like look right at home on this like ribbon bag. However, double lamb could be kind of a vibe. So for now I'm keeping these 3, and then these 3 will go to my friends. Alright, being alternative in Japan, I get a lot of questions all the time on whether or not I go out in full makeup. And the answer is usually, but in certain important situations, no. House hunting would be one of them, which is what I'm doing today. I'm literally touring my dream house, so I guess get ready with me to go house hunting, aka my like serious important business Japanese makeup. Alright, now first of all, no piercings. Even though I've never gotten any complaints about having a septum ring here, I just don't really want to risk it. I always pull my septum ring out if I have to do anything important, and my husband does too. I'm also not gonna wear any other jewelry except for my wedding ring because jewelry is just like not as common here, especially ear jewelry, so I feel like to give a clean impression, a lot of people just don't wear any. And then also, even though it is summer, long sleeves to cover all of the tattoos. All right, now for makeup. For my base, I like to start with a really sheer foundation that is really close to my skin tone and looks very natural. What I'm doing today is what I call my acceptable average Japanese lady makeup, which is basically a sheer base that isn't too worried about covering everything. Then softening my eyebrows, skipping all eye makeup, and then for cheeks, doing something kind of bright and pink. Basically anything that gives me a bright and like fresh, youthful appearance. I'm kind of doing this in like an Ikari style makeup placement, but not like I'm wearing too much makeup. A little bit of a sheer blue powder to set for some like extra brightness. A little bit of a non-sparkly highlighter to bring some shine back. And then for lips, I do like to have a little bit more color of them. Also, I can't really give up my gothic edge. It is really difficult for me to do that. Recently, I've been really liking Film Noir from MAC. Just like very sheared out all over my lips. Like just like the tiniest amount. Because I feel like the end result is like a better version of Black Honey. Dewy setting spray. And while it dries, I'm going to smooth down my hair with like a hair balm. Just want to make it like as smooth as possible because apparently having frizzy hair means you don't have your life together here. And there we go. As decent as I'll ever be by Japanese beauty standards. Not very fun, not very spooky, but it does serve a purpose. Wish me luck in getting my dream house, please. It's a dreadful rainy day here in Japan, so I want to talk about my favorite rainy day slash petrichor fragrances. All 5 of these kind of have a damp quality to them, and they just remind me of rain and just being wet and, I don't know, dreary. First up, and by far the most photorealistic petrichor smell in my collection, would be the Monster from Sans Perfumes. This literally smells like it just rained super hard and it unearthed all of the dirt smell, like literally just petrichor, mixed with clove, which is a beautiful addition. I love clove. Like, if you have been looking for something that smells like, especially like the Midwest in America, like heavy rain, the smell after that, this one. Next up is Nosferatu from Heretic, of course. This smells like a damp castle that's made of stone, and you can just smell the wetness in the air, if that makes sense. It does have a quality of the sea, but it's not salty. I'm not a big fan of salty sea fragrances. This just smells like, yeah, you're in a damp space with some really beautiful white florals in the background, but definitely the dampness and the mustiness is at the forefront. Next up is a Quincum from A Picture of Fragrance, and this doesn't smell like rain specifically. It smells like what's supposed to smell like a Roman bathhouse, like a historically accurate Roman bathhouse, or that's what it's inspired by. It immediately smells like a cave that's just like full of a really wondrous pool, and the wet air is just like hitting you in the face. But yeah, it definitely smells like an old Roman bathhouse, or even like a mermaid cove, just somewhere that's very wet and like humid in the air. It has like some ozone qualities and a little bit of like, I don't want to say citrus, it just has really unique smelling. I've never smelled anything like this. Very mystical. Next up is De Profundis from Serge Lutens, and this smells like a damp gothic garden. You really get the soil quality and the after rain quality, but it doesn't necessarily smell like petrichor. It just smells like dirt that's damp, mixed with some greenness and a really beautiful violet. This one is very expensive, but it smells so good. And then finally, Encore Noir, I believe that's how you say it. Some people were correcting me last time I talked about this fragrance. Also, my cap is broken, but this smells like a damp, dark forest with a gray overcast sky, like especially if you live in like Pacific Northwest, like that's where I'm from in the States. It just smells like a really fresh, spooky forest. I believe you can find gothic inspiration from almost anything, and today I have a product inspired by the Mid-Tang Dynasty, which, if you didn't know, had some makeup references that are pretty goth. This is from one of my favorite CBD brands, Santa Lip Rose. I believe that's how you say it. And this is a very dark rouge that's supposed to be inspired by Wu Gao. It was a super dark, like reddish purple pigment that people used to use to like dye their hair, draw their eyebrows, paint in their lips over like 1,000 years ago. Literally the OG black lipstick. Even though I've always been interested in historical Chinese makeup, I've never really put it into practice. However, I do think the Tang Dynasty is really interesting. The makeup was sad, it was forlorn, it was a little bit creepy, and most importantly, men hated it. I'll just read a little bit of a poem that a man wrote at the time critiquing the makeup style. Raven black paste on the lips look like mud. Both brows painted low to look like the character for 8. Beauty and ugliness, black and white, makes them lose their natural form. With the makeup complete, they seem to give off a sorrowful cry. I'm still not gonna try full Tang Dynasty makeup today, but I did want to try the kind of iconic lip shape that they do with this pigment. I'll put the reference right here, and then I'm gonna do my best. I'm going to white out my lips first, grab some of the rouge, and try to do the lip shape. It's actually so hard. Okay, top lip. Okay, this is the best it's gonna look. My lips are way too tiny for this, but I do think this is kind of rad. I personally think it's so cute. I would definitely do this again, and I think the color is really accurate to what it would have looked like, because it would have been some black pigments mixed with red. 10 out of 10 purchase. I love beauty history. This is so cool.